The Aligned Schedule Partnership. I created the Aligned Schedule Partnership to give people the power to roll out their aligned schedule, to create a life that's filled with ease, grace, and meaning, and to use the schedule as that access point for it. And there's two different options that I have here for levels of support, and they fit different circumstances that people are in. So the first option is a massive level of support, and I'll explain what that means in a moment. But it's for people that either meet one of these categories or maybe even all four of them. So the first being there's many moving parts in your life, many responsibilities. You may have recently gotten more responsibilities, or you are leveling up in your business or the number of people you're caring for in your life. There might be some very real obstacles in the way to you having a schedule that flows or a schedule that actually works at all, right? And you'll know that this is you if when we talked earlier and we were mapping out the new schedule along the lines of your priorities, if you just felt a whole lot of resistance in your body, like if you actually felt like walls go up for yourself, or if you felt like throwing up your hands or turning away from the training and go, forget it, it's impossible. It's not impossible. It just might mean that you might need this level of support to make it happen, to make it achievable for you. And it might take some creative support and brainstorming to figure out ways to roll it out. Option one is good for folks who have schedules that have been a struggle for years, like a mess for years, hyper busy, and you feel like, honestly, if it keeps going this way, you might be at risk of burning out. You might be physically sick, or things might start falling apart for you, right? Some balls might be dropped that you really can't let be dropped. Option two is a lighter level of support. There's still a lot of structure to it, a lot of love and compassion being shown for you. But it's more for people who feel like their schedule should work. Like if they were to map it out and look at it, they go, well, there you go. There's a place for everything. But for some reason, it just doesn't seem to work. You might say, hey, it should work. I should go to work and then I go to the gym after and big deal. I can do it. Or, I should be able to make a meal for myself a few times a week, right? It seems like it should flow, but something's in the way. And then you end up just feeling bad about yourself. Like there's something wrong with you that you can't seem to make it work. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you that you can't make it work. You just might need a little boost to get this rolling. And it can feel easier and less stressful without this feeling of, awfulness around your schedule and your days. So here's what you get with the option one, the massive support. You get a total of 16 coaching sessions. Week one, 2 60-minute sessions. We map out your schedule. We identify obstacles. Weeks 2 through 7, 2 30-minute coaching sessions a week, 12 sessions total. Now, you might not need that amount of time. You might find that you know what, can we just do like a 15-minute check-in just to touch base? But I want you to know that I am there for you and available all that for those amount of time, so that if there's anything that comes up and you need to work through stuff, if you get obstacles that seem like they're stopping you, if you are at risk of like being like, forget this, it's not worth it, right? I'll be there to help you make sure you're keeping those things prioritized that are very important to you, right? And it might take some creative brainstorming, like I said, to figure out how to make that work. And we can do that together. Week 8, 2 60-minute sessions where we reflect on the growth you've made. We celebrate this new aligned schedule, and we map out how to sustain this going forward. You also get tech support from me up to 5 days a week. So we can co-create what that looks like. You might not need it 5 days, you might need it or request it less, but it's examples such as, hey, can you text me Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon and check in to make sure I'm taking my lunch break or I went for a walk, right? That's an example of what it could look like. We will also continuously reassess your schedule to see if there's any adjustments that need to be made. There's many materials for planning schedules, short and long-term goals, and habits. How to track your habits so that you can implement things that you want to implement. You'll get support on clearing out obstacles and clarity on ways that you get in your own way. Like I talked about earlier, ways I get in my own way. We all do it, right? And you'll also have access to my private client website. You get just-in-time coaching there, so you can actually write to me any time of day or night, and I will respond within 48 hours with a response to the request and some support and feedback for you. Option 2, structured support, is a little less of that structure, right? A little bit less. We ease back a bit. So you get coaching every week. The first week, there's one session rather than two. It's 90 minutes. So it's a little bit longer session, but there's only one of them. And we do the same thing. We map out the schedule and we identify obstacles. Weeks 2 through 7, you get one coaching call a week. It's 30 minutes. It's to touch base, make sure things are rolling the way you want them to. And if they're not, we brainstorm, we get creative, and we get things working for you again. Week 8, this is our reflection time. A 60-minute session to reflect on the growth. We celebrate what's worked and we map out how to sustain it. There's no texting component to this, so you can choose to do that another way or do not have that be a part of the work. Everything else is the same that we went over. So it's basically fewer sessions and you don't get the texting component from me. So here are the costs for the different options. Option 1, pay in full, is $3,000. You get a savings of $300. You also have an installment option where you can make 6 payments of $550, and that's one payment each month. Option 2 is structured support. You can pay in full $1,111. That again has a savings of $221. And you also could do an installment option of 6 monthly payments of $222. Why do we do this? We do this so that you can have an aligned schedule and your life can be filled with ease, grace, and meaning. You'll have more energy for your work, your loved ones, and yourself. The really cool thing is that the people around you benefit. Your family, your friends, your colleagues. They'll notice the changes. It's so rewarding to me personally as a coach when my clients come to me and say, you know what? My husband noticed the difference. He says I'm calmer, right? Or, oh, my wife noticed that I've made some changes and she was so thankful.